Welcome to Living a Full Life podcast. Join us as we explore health topics that encourage raising healthy children, living a healthy life, and living the best life possible. Now, here's your host.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Living a Full Life. I am Dr. Enrico Dolcecore, and I will be going through hormones today. The hormone system is a convoluted and complicated system within our body, and we're still understanding it up to today. There's plentiful research on it and how it all works and how it functions and why it functions the way it does. But we're ongoing with research on how this works. We have a podcast or two on hormones in the past. Dr. Fiona Lovely did a great one on menopause that I was with. Go back and check that one out. But today is a general concept about our hormone system as our age progresses over time, whether you're young or old, and why it changes over time and what we can do to help keep a healthy hormonal system active for as long as possible. And there's many ways to do this. So let's dive in. Hormones are essential for everything in our body. Chemical messengers, they're all chemicals from the brain that regulate various physiological processes. Their levels can change over time or as we age for several reasons, leading to potential unwanted symptoms. Here's some reasons why these things change. Age is the major game here. As time goes on, things just change. Menopause and andropause are two of the biggest reasons why our systems change, and because of growth hormone decline as we age as well. In women, menopause typically occurs around the age of 50, but it can happen over a wide range of time, leading to a significant drop in estrogen and progesterone levels. In men, andropause involves a gradual decline in testosterone, usually starting around the age of 40. So up until about 40, our hormone system actually is growing, believe it or not. So as children, we're growing, our hormone system is developing, and we go through a phase called puberty where they explode. We get a ton of hormone development through there, and a lot of body changes happen because of that. Then it starts to taper off in our 20s, but it stays at a plateau level for a while, for a decade, in our late 20s and into our late 30s. Then at around the age of 40, things start to change. They decline a little bit. So in puberty, our hormonal surges lead to sexual maturity and physical growth. So we get a lot of growth hormone and sexual reproductive type hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Then we go through phases, well, women mainly go through phases of pregnancy and postpartum, which can lead hormones such as progesterone, estrogen, and prolactin to significantly rise and facilitate postpartum and labor. So, and there's some postpartum hormone levels that happen as well. There's a lot of research showing that this surge in progesterone and estrogen actually leads to women's longevity in life as well. Women who are fertile enough at 40 or into their 40s have shown that they have the potential of living to 100 because if they're fertile enough through their hormone system to make it into their 40s and still be fertile into their late 40s, then they have a healthy hormonal system enough to make it to 100, which is cool. But there are a lot of lifestyle factors that happen with our hormone system too. And the number one thing, actually, if you listen to any of our podcasts, guess what these three things are going to be? Actually, four things. You probably already know. If you listen to any of them, it's almost like I repeat the exact same four things and just make new podcasts over and over each and every week for 2 straight years. How does this guy do it? But this is how it works. And it's not. It's because these are the fundamental rules and principles of a healthy life. So lifestyle factors, the number one reason why we can alter or change our hormone system in a negative way is our diet. Poor nutrition can impact hormone production, all the hormones. So diets low in essential fatty acids, for example, can affect sex hormone synthesis. So this is testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. Exercise. Exercise can both negatively and positively affect our hormone balance as well. So regular, consistent, Moderate to mild exercise has been shown to facilitate a healthy nervous system. Exercise at high intensity levels over long periods of time, over consistency for a long time, have actually shown to cause a disruption in hormone balance, especially more so in females than men, but a disruption in balance there. So pushing ourselves too hard physically can lead to a lot of stress hormones that end up causing a negative cascade on our entire hormonal system. So exercise in moderation plays a fantastic role in hormone. So we talked about diet. We talked about exercise. Guess what's next? Stress. Chronic stress increases cortisol, for one example, which can interfere with other hormone functions. So cortisol is bad, stress is bad. We all know that, and our hormone system plays the first role in this. Changes how we feel, changes our emotions, which directly change the synthesis of our hormone systems as well. And then sleep. This can throw off the entire circadian rhythm, which can really dismantle the hormonal system altogether. So inadequate sleep disrupts all balances of all hormones like cortisol, leptin, and ghrelin. All these things help us with the circadian rhythm in sleep, which help facilitate all of our hormones. We know that sleep is the one most important thing we can do because it's the only time during each and every day that our bodies can heal and create new tissue is during sleep. That's where we heal. So if we're not sleeping well, we're not healing well. If we're not healing well, we're aging faster. Medical conditions through our lifetime can also affect our production of hormones. I mean, direct conditions that are affecting organs that produce hormones can cause issues like thyroid disorders. Hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism can definitely affect the hormone levels that are in there, which cause a cascade event to other hormones as well. Diabetes. Insulin is a hormone that people forget about, and diabetes involves insulin resistance or insufficiency, and then the degenerative changes of diabetes can also degenerate other hormone cascades as well, like ACE inhibitors and all the other things that come down from the pituitary. And then polycystic ovary syndrome. This condition affects women's hormone levels, leading to excess androgens and suppresses the female hormone production. So diseases through our life can play a role and take an effect on our hormone system as well. Then ancillary things like medications and treatments for other things that can also affect our hormone system are like steroids. Anabolic steroids or corticosteroids can significantly impact hormone balances. So anabolic steroids are optional choices that people make to speed up growth hormone and growth of muscle, but corticosteroids may be used for pain or asthma or an inhaler or an injectable for other issues, typically pain or injury. But the chronic use of these really can throw off our entire hormone system. HRT or hormone replacement therapy during menopause or other conditions can alter natural hormone balance as well. And one of the biggest reasons why we have a plethora of issues as far as reproduction, fertility, and polycystic ovaries, and all the other conditions are there are hormonal contraceptives that at a young age, when introduced into the system, can really swing hormones in unhealthy levels and artificially suppress hormone development as well too. They all have their functions, but the results are usually not good. So unwanted symptoms that are caused by hormonal changes that happen through our life that we may directly know, or maybe we don't know. So this podcast may be like a little alert saying, hey, I wonder if I feel the way I feel because of my hormones. But these are some things to think about. Menopause. During the menopause phase of the 40-plus crowd, hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, and vaginal dryness can all be symptoms of the start of menopause or being in menopause. In andropause, it can be reduced libido, erectile dysfunction, depression, or loss of muscle mass during those phases too. So if you're above the 40 crowd, you start to see some of these things. I think people are quite aware that these might be hormonal, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're just turned 40 and you're realizing, well, maybe this stuff is. I am a little bit more tired. I am a little bit more, maybe more mood swings or more depressed. And there are things we might want to check in our blood to see where we're at. It's a good time to check. Thyroid disorders can lead to weight changes, fatigue, hair loss, and temperature sensitivities as well. So the thyroid plays a big role in this. So keeping an eye on that, but artificially trying to suppress or stimulate hormone production can be tricky. Adrenal fatigue, so chronic fatigue, body aches, lightheadedness, and low blood pressure can be from adrenal fatigue. And the adrenals play a huge cascade role in a lot of the hormone systems. So like cortisol and all these things that go through our bloodstream. So being lightheaded or having a low blood pressure or decrease in blood pressure or fatigue can be adrenal fatigue, which needs some primary care as quickly as possible to prevent fainting and other issues that can happen with that. And then insulin resistance, that's typically correlated with diabetes. We can have spontaneous weight gain, excessive thirst, frequent urination, fatigue. These things can be related to pancreatic insufficiency, which is usually related to diabetes. So these are things to think about as we are aging. So how do we prevent hormonal changes and maintaining healthy hormone regulation? That's the key of all of our podcasts, is how do we live a long, healthy life? And that's the key to the name of the game is prevention. So guess what? A healthy diet is the foundation to a healthy hormonal system. It's a foundation to every system in the body. Is a balanced nutrition, consume a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. I sound like a broken record. Just over and over and over again, that is what every single day your diet is made out of. The problem with the American diet and lifestyle is that we know we need to have vegetables, fruits, protein, and healthy fats. We know this. I don't think any of you listening to my podcast are like, wow, that's phenomenal information. Never heard that before. I think you've all heard that. If not, welcome to the club. But balanced nutrition is in itself a little difficult to maintain. And the way to do that is to prepare the week and just be ready with meals and this stuff in our fridges at all times. We should be stocked up on this. If you don't have vegetables in the house, very hard to eat them. So stocking them up. So that's the one thing. So American lifestyle not only is void or omits some of these things in their diet on a day-to-day basis, which is a big problem, but we replace them with day-to-day bad foods, snacks, candies, chips. I mean, all these little things that are on the side that fill in the voids that we create by not having fruits, vegetables, or healthy proteins in the house. They have to be filled with something else. And we typically, what that ends up happening is you'll find that when you eat the balanced diet is you eat less quantity, serving sizes, and portions because they're just healthy, hearty meals. And you end up eating a lot of snacks. So you're eating a lot of carbohydrate and void nutrition to make up the difference. So you consume actually more food than the healthier people. And it just turns into this whole thing where it becomes more expensive to eat unhealthy than it does to eat healthy. So a lot of reasons how this whole seesaw can tip is with our nutrition. So the rules with this is you can't fluctuate from this. This is the way it is. So I think what happens psychologically is we look at this, we're like, well, I like cake and I like to have a muffin every now and then. I like to have, a milkshake every now and then. No one said you can't have that. It's if you eat a balanced diet each and every day, you can have that stuff every now and then. That's it. But what we do is we end up omitting things on a day-to-day basis where we're not getting enough vegetables, and we end up putting in every day the Twinkie or the Oreos or the cereal, and it's every day. So we've completely substituted and traded one thing for the other. We lose the game. We absolutely lose the game of nutrition. And then supplementing essential nutrients. You got to take these supplements to make sure we have an adequate intake of vitamins, minerals, vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids. You have to supplement these things 100%. There's no way around it. Vitamin D, 5,000 IUs per day. Omega-3 is usually a fish oil. If you're vegan, you can do flaxseed oil, and then a multivitamin to cover all your bases. That's essentially every single day. And that is the recipe to a healthy diet for sure. Number 2, exercise, moderate exercise that we talked about. Engage in regular moderate exercise like swimming, walking, yoga to help regulate your hormones. Strength training plays a huge role for muscle mass, growth hormone, cortisol balance, and testosterone levels in both men and women. Number 3, stress management. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques play a huge role in managing our stress. Life's tough. We're on a day-to-day battle with work, family, kids, life, traffic, finances, spirituality, everything, relationships. Stress piles up. We need to practice a routine, just like a well-balanced diet. You have to prepare for this. Deep breathing, yoga, going for a walk, these little things where you decompress are really important each and every day. Even 10 minutes plays a big role. And sleep. Sleep actually offsets stress management. You want to get away from all your stress? Fall asleep. It's usually a good way, unless you have nightmares every night. But that's a good way to just get away from stress and for your body to just try and heal. 7 to 9 hours. The literature is rock solid on this. Over the age of 14 years of age, 7 to 9 hours. That's just the way it is for the rest of your life, whether you're 31 or 96. 7 to 8 hours every single night. Avoiding toxins. You have to make it a mission in your life to minimize exposure to endocrine disruptors found in plastics, pesticides, and personal care products. These are all toxins that happen through our environmental system that you have to be on a mission to make sure that the things you're putting on your skin, the things that you're putting in your hair, the things you're spraying around your house are not toxic. And all of it is toxic. All of it. You shouldn't be using any of this stuff unless it's natural based. So me and our lawn, you walk by my lawn, if it's green, great. It's because the rain came and the sun shined. If it's not green, it's because I didn't do anything to it. And I'm not going to. Not putting anything down. I've got kids. I've got pets. Not putting anything down. If you're my neighbor and you do this stuff, you're in danger. You're in danger. Like I've got you. I'm watching you. So because I want to surround my environment with as minimal toxins as possible. Folks, if you're my patient, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I don't wear deodorant. I don't wear cologne. I don't put skin lotion. I don't do anything. This is the way God made me. This is the way I show up to work. This is it. If I stink, I stink. No one has ever told me I do. I don't. I do sniff my armpits during the day just to make sure, and I don't. I'm lucky. But we do have natural deodorants as well. My wife buys them, and charcoal-based ones that if I notice one day I am, I'm like, oh, geez, I got to do something. I'll put on a charcoal thing. But I put on deodorant maybe 15 times a year. Just honestly, I don't put things on my skin. I don't use aftershave, pre-shave, post-shave, nothings, because I understand these concepts. And if I can minimize my exposure to environmental toxins, then I just give myself a winning chance here on this earth. You can't eliminate everything. So our house has a whole house water filtration system. We drink, that is filtered into the home. Then that is again filtered in a reverse osmosis water system, pretty much removing everything from the water. And then it's recalcified and remineralized through some cartridges. And that's how we drink water. So that means that the water that we shower with and bathe with has at least been filtered, which is great. So these are little tips to live a healthy life. And then medical supervision plays a huge role in our overall healthcare. Of course, wellness checks with your primary care provider has shown to decrease mortality throughout your life because you're checking in with people. I think this is why chiropractic patients do so well and live so long. I've got patients in their 90s that drive themselves to our office, walk in, lie down, get adjusted, and drive back home. And it makes you, I'm like, man, I hope I get to live a life like that. But you realize that they've created these routines in their life. The chiropractor is part of their life. Their medical doctor is part of their life. These things, their checks, they take these things seriously. So regular checkups and routine health screenings and blood tests can monitor not only hormone levels, but all your levels to make sure that you're within a wellness range. And then treat underlying conditions. If there's underlying conditions that may come up that could become chronic health issues, your primary care provider can be on top of it. Prevention is the name of the game. Number 6, herbal supplements and natural remedies. There has been shown that phytoestrogens, found in soy products and flax seeds that can help balance estrogen levels. So getting good sources of that, adaptogens, herbs like ashwagandha, rhodiola, ginseng can help support adrenal function and stress response. So these are little things you might want to look into with teas and tinctures that can also help as well. But again, a good primary care provider, chiropractor, functional medicine doctor, medical doctor, whoever it may be, can help you with this stuff as well. And lastly, hormone replacement therapy. We talked about how that could be a danger, but it could also be a great tool to use under medical supervision to alleviate symptoms of menopause, andropause, but should be closely monitored by your healthcare provider. So that's the hormone system. And those are the 7 things that you can do to help prevent a decaying hormonal system that can lead to a lot of issues and symptoms that we see. Some of these symptoms end up bringing us down the wrong path, and we end up, low energy. Low energy can lead you down so many different paths, diets and exercises and this practitioner and that practitioner and spending money trying to get your energy back. And then, these supplements and that, it can get expensive, but it can also get time consuming with little results. So having proper healthcare plays a big role there too. I hope this was an informative podcast for you about hormones. Like, share, leave a comment so that we can grow this podcast to more people and have a great and
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Living a Full Life podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.